Hey, welcome to the 2 minute drill. Bernard Muhammad and Cristen Jones, the QB coach. What's up, Kristen?
What's going on?
I'm all good, brother. Man, I know people have been dying, waiting to hear what your take is. I know they've been seeing some of it on Facebook, but we'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. I think tonight we're on Facebook, Twitch TV, and LinkedIn. Are you ready to get at it? Okay. Hey, what's your first thoughts? What you want to share first about Caleb Williams that you saw this season? We've been through 3 games. So what's your take?
I think he's getting better. I would say he just fundamentally with some of the missed throws is just his feet are not right. He's just not throwing the ball fundamentally sound the way that he's supposed to. But as far as his reads, though, they've been spot off. I mean, spot on, not spot off. They've been spot on. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's just I would just like to see him complete some of the layup throws that he's been missing. That's it. That's all I got. I don't have anything negative to say.
Okay. I was looking at some of the ones that, some of those layup throws. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some video later to bring in the broadcast. I wonder if some of those throws where it looks like he's kind of like playing fast in that moment. Is that what it is? And that's why his feet not set?
Yeah, I think it's just also learning a new system isn't as easy as everybody think it is. It's not
Okay.
like you can just go in and oh yeah, you got it. Like he's thinking, and normally, I mean, there is like thinking involved, but it's more so like you playing like a card game where like you know you're being more like meticulous in what you're doing as far as like thinking while trying to do while trying to execute something. So that's what I know that's what's happening. Why some of those throws are missed as well because he's still thinking, he's still trying to like learn this offense, which it seemed like it's probably lengthy too. To be honest with you, like the play calls, because Ben Johnson has said it a lot. Like he's starting to learn how to like spit out the calls really clean and really good and efficiently, getting them in and out of the huddle. So that has all of that is connected.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Christian. That's a great analogy. I know a lot of times us as fans, we're riding like a roller coaster as far as emotion, right? We're from play to play, and sometimes some of us are unforgiving on a bad play. Like for example, this past Sunday against Dallas. Let me pull up the stats right here. Caleb Williams went 19 for 28, 298 passing yards, 4 TDs, passing rate of 142, 67.9% completion ratio. Now, watching that game early on, at one point he was at about 53% completion. So sometimes us as fans, some of us get locked in at that moment, right? Where we would just say he finished the game with 53% completion, but actually finished with 67, which is pretty good in the NFL. So he missed 9 passes, and I tried to go back through some of those passes. You had one drive by not DJ. You had one drive by Caleb Williams. You had one ball where he rolled out and threw it away. You had a dirt ball that he threw to Swift. He
Mm-hmm.
had a ball where he kind of like led the rookie tight end Loveland too much. He was out too far in front of him. Then there was another like pass where he kind of threw it in front of Zacchaeus, and the other three were kind of like in the ballpark, right? To me, those were like catches that it's subjective, right? Like maybe the guy could have catch it, maybe he couldn't, but you're gonna miss some passes. That's the reality. Like you got a hit, you can't miss those screens, but eventually, once he start hitting those screens, he's gonna miss some of those screens sometimes.
Ideally, you don't want to, but sometimes you like. I would consider depend like if he misses it, it's because the defense is on it. But even at like college and high school level, um, those will be considered layups. Those like very high percentage passes. So like unless the defense is on it or they made an adjustment, and sometimes as play callers they call bad plays and just didn't no expect the defensive coordinator to give a look that they wasn't expecting to. So sometimes screen passes are not hit on purpose, like you throw it away, or if it's deflected because you wouldn't anticipate, the defensive player to make an adjustment the way that sometimes they do.
Okay. I'm gonna try to bring in my other screen. Hold on, let me get this set up, Christian. Look like I lost Christian for a moment. You get a chance, Christian, come back in. So tonight, me and Cristen Jones are talking about Caleb Williams and his performance, especially in the last game. And somehow we lost connection with Christian. And we do an overview of the last three games. But Sunday in the game, Caleb had a pretty good performance. He ended up winning NFC Offensive Player of the Week, which is very exciting to see a young quarterback to be able to do it. And Chicagobears quarterback. Right now, when you're looking at a lot of the pass categories, Caleb Williams is actually ranked 9th, which is pretty good. And the Bears offense, surprisingly, is a top 10 offense. And when you get a chance, Christian, make sure you get back in. Alex, I'm not sure how I lost you today. But watching that, I mean, it's very exciting. You saw like the flea flicker that he threw to when he threw. Oh, here you go, Christian. Thank you. Got back in. Ooh, I was trying to like. Yeah, I was saying, hey, let me try to stall to get you back on. Anyway, welcome everybody to the 2-minute drill. Cristen Jones and Bernard Muhammad. Hey, Christian, I was just talking about Caleb being selected the NFC player, the offensive player of the week. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
He had a good game. And yeah, I mean, you should give him his credit. Like he didn't throw any interceptions. That's all good. All over. There were some things that, like I said earlier in the show, like you want to see him get better at. And you just hope that, this next game that he like cleaned it up and you can see like him improving it. But as far as like him being NFC player of the week, I mean, didn't he almost throw for like 300 yards or something like that?
Yeah, 298.
Yeah, he had
298. Hey, you want to listen?
3 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, 4 touchdowns. Let me bring it on the screen, Christian. Bring it on the screen. See if you can see that. Can you see that? I'm having a little. Let me stop this. We got a little funny thing going on today. Let me see what's going on here. There we go. Okay. There we go. So look at the stats right there. 298 yards, 4 TDs, no turnovers.
That's you can live. I mean, you winning with that, honestly. 67% completion rating is. That's really you complete 67% of your passes. You're doing a really good job. So I mean, I don't have any complaints. I thought he did well. Thought he played good. Not turning over the ball is the one thing I'm happy to see that he didn't do. Yeah.
Right. Hey, you want let's run a few plays. Hey, let me know what you think and tell me when you want to stop. So this is that opener. This is nice opening play. Get you positive game.
Yeah, I like the design on that play. Like you had a scissors concept to the left side, and then the right side you have the back. Easy concepts, easy knowing what to read on them. So he Johnson did a good job of like keeping it simple, but also giving you like different looks, keeping the defense honest and on their toes where they couldn't guess.
Yeah. Hey, Christian, I want to point this out too. That was a progress even for the offensive line. Let me go right here. If you notice, like right here, Dallas actually bring a lot of guys down in the box, and Caleb recognizes this. And if you look at it, they actually how many guys they bring in? One, two, three, four. Look like they bring in five. I thought the offensive line did pretty good job on this play right here, and Caleb almost went back to his habits because he kind of bent down at one point in this play. Let me let it run, and you see what I'm saying right there.
Yeah.
So this is one of those habits he had to break because if he doesn't bend down, he sees this guy up at the top quicker. That's about the 10-yard line at the top. He would probably see him quicker, but because he bend down, he actually lose a few seconds in the pocket because he has to stand back up.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a tale of two things are true.
Mm-hmm.
One, I agree with you, like he has to know. I don't know what his drop is on there. I'm assuming that it'll be 3-1. So you have a three-step drop. Your first hitch is always a rhythm, and then your second hitch is always you're letting it go.
Okay.
Um, I think that a lot of times when you get sacked a lot and you get pressured a lot, even if it's in the previous game, going into another game, like you will develop like bad habits to where like you too quick in the pocket or you too late or you just doing stuff that you normally not supposed to be doing like this. Like
Okay.
you 3-1 rhythm, two down to throw. That's everywhere. It's almost like back in the day when teams would run a lot of stuff under center and it'd be 5-step drops, 7-step drops. Well, your first hitch and the 5-step drop, 5-step drop you get like three hitches. Um, the first one is always rhythm, and then other ones you going down to your progression. But since everything is on the shotgun now, so your heels is at 5, you're getting the same depth that you would get at 5 or 7 step, 5 or 7 drop back, and
Mm-hmm.
the first hitch is always going to be a rhythm. So here he probably saw a little. I mean, he probably wasn't expecting the look that he got, and or two, he just got confused with the pressure.
Okay.
It could have been anything, but I definitely agree with you. Like he definitely needs to stop doing that so he can get to his high routes.
Yeah, yeah, because and I know that's a habit from being sacked a lot, and I think about something like Kurt Warner would say, you always got to be in a position ready to throw. So when you kind of bend down like that, right? I know he probably was bracing to get hit, but since nobody actually got there, now you have to get back ready in the throwing position, right? But Caleb is special because he's able to throw from those very awkward positions. So he's been
Yeah,
fortunate enough where I think because he said Aaron Rodgers was one of his favorite players. So he probably was practicing that growing up, throwing in those weird angles and feet not on the ground and stuff like that.
cool to have in your back pocket, and a lot of people a lot of people who are fans and don't really know what they're watching. I'm not trying to be critical of people or anything like that. It's just that's cool to have in your back pocket. But the main thing, can you play in rhythm? Can you play on time? And then when you have to do those things, you do those things. To me, a lot of times with Caleb, he feels more comfortable doing those things because you go back and you watch his college tape, he never played in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Played in rhythm. He always made like amazing throws. Throws that were just like unbelievable doing that. So he's more comfortable doing that, but he's got to learn. That's what Ben Johnson like. He just needs him to be a point guard. So being a point guard, you just got to know how to be in rhythm. You got to know how to see the field and distribute the ball to the necessary people, the necessary wide receivers, your weapons, and rhythm. And
Yeah.
he's not he did it in this game, but he did have some throws, like I said, that are layups that he can't miss. So hopefully, I mean, against this Raiders team, I'm not trying to get ahead because I know you're gonna ask me that later, but I'm just hopefully this next game, like he'll be able to live in that more than those throws that you're just talking about.
Okay. Hey, let's let this roll a little bit more and see what else we got here. Okay, this was a nice pickup. They ended up punting in this situation. Now this is an interesting package right here. They are actually in 13. It look like they're in 13 personnel. You have Cole Komet, you have Cole Komet, you have Lovin down at the bottom, and you have another tight end up at the top, and then you motion Komet back to the backfield as a fullback. Do it look like they was in 13 personnel to you? Does it look like that's what they in? I believe this
Yeah,
is that flea flicker. Let me see. Let's see what happened. I think it's the flea flicker. Okay, no, they just ran a play out of this. Man, nice play, Loveland. Nice throw. Man, that's nice. Matter of fact, let me see if we got some volume. This is all 22 views. Yeah, this is one of those off throws that he made. Let me let me get that what is going on the commercial. Yeah, it's one of those throws too where I see he was on pressure. I almost see that throw almost like a throwaway because he was under pressure, but he kind of threw it in the field of play. He probably been better off throwing that, just throwing it out of bounds versus throwing it in the field of play.
it's just those habits of like you know. I think it's the hardest thing ever as a coordinator and the head coach, and then your quarterback coach. It's like you don't want him to lose it, but you also
Yeah.
just want him to know like when to do it and when not. When in the red zone, that I feel like that's the most hardest thing to coach. Um, how to let a guy be himself, because if you coach it out of him, then you're kind of now having him think about like when to do it, and now he's not playing free. So it's just one of those things that you just hope he understands when to do it and when not, because he do me at times making me nervous when he trying to make plays. So it's like you don't know if it's gonna be good or bad.
Okay. Well, let me read my screen a little big. Let's roll a couple more plays. And look what we got right here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to load up the video I had preset, but hey, we can ad lib right here. Okay. Just nice little check down, just for some positive. Y'all look like only 1 yard gain. Okay, I think this is that touchdown play to Rome where Diggs tries to jam him. It is.
Yeah.
Man,
So on
nice throw.
you got you got basically he knew. So if you can rewind and you can show so I can talk
Okay.
you through. Um, there you go. Go back some more so they can. Yeah.
Right there.
Now I'm gonna talk you through it. So you can go ahead and play, and I'll tell you what's
Okay.
going on.
Okay.
All right, keep going. Cool. Now you saw you can pause it. Now when they go back to 3-by-1, as you can see the motion. I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
who that was. A lot of times motion is to one identify. Even in high school, college, it's all the same. One, you can motion to determine the strength to, especially if a team likes to slant a lot, like with the linemen, they like to
Mm-hmm.
slant towards your strength. You can motion to now have them slant towards your strength, and you can gash them by running opposite, or you can gash them by running into your strength. And typically, when you do that, you go run some type of gap, like counter, power, things like that, to where they're slanting into, alignment is blocking down,
Okay.
or you can have them slant into. If you're running a lot of you like a zone team, it's easier because now you're slanting to where I can definitely reach you, and you're helping me out. So it's just so many things that happen on the run side. Now, and the second level where linebackers and safeties, what happened there is if you get a guy and he's in trail technique, you can definitely identify like okay, they're in man or they're not in man. You know, it could be a quarters, cover three, temper two, some form of other cloud, it'll identify. Because if a guy is going to come with you, he's going to come. If he doesn't, then that'll let you get an idea. Now, of course, this is pre-snap read, but typically, if a guy is following you, telling you, they're going to be a man.
Okay.
So he knew he had man, so he knew he was okay to take a shot, and that's why he just went ahead and threw that ball to Rome. Because you can go, you can play it now, you can see when you play it.
Right. And you know what? I want to make a comment on that. That's some great analysis. I'm looking at this right now because it's paused and I just noticed something. I don't know what, I don't remember his first name, but last name Diggs. I have no idea what he's doing on this play. There's nobody over top. And look at his front foot. His front foot is his right foot. So he goes in to jam wrong right with his right hand, but there's nobody on the outside or over the top to help him. So when he throws it, Rome just brushes him off and goes to his right, which is probably why he loses balance because he actually pushes Rome to the side where his footwork is at. So his footwork is kind of out of whack on this route. Hold on, let me.
He runs at him too, which he was just all off balance. Like his technique as a DB was wrong, all the way wrong.
Okay, so let me roll it. You tell me when you want to stop.
Now you can see his eyes. He never. I mean, he moved the safety over just enough to where he can dot that. But that dude, he's showing off his arm strength there too, because that dude threw a one ball for about a good 40 yards, and it had some steam on it, and he had literally hit Rome in the face mask with it. So he manipulated the safety because he knew he had one on one, but his head never went to the right side all the way. He just moved him just enough if you want to rewind it so you can see it and everybody else can see it. Um,
Right there.
so, yeah, so look where his head is. Like he's moving the safety because the safety is responsible for number two. So that's a slot wide receiver. And you
Yeah.
can see safety there. You can play it now. You can see how the safety there, he never moved. Even though he's responsible for number two, you know you're gonna get help over the top with the strong safety, but he held number two safety there, so it was just one on one situation. And I mean, it was just a good manipulation and good ball placement. That
Okay.
was
Man, that's some good ball there. Okay, hey, what play is this? Let's see what's going on. We just looking at a couple of videos on YouTube breaking down the Dallas game with Caleb. We're doing an analysis of Caleb's game all season. Oh, this is the flea flicker.
so all they did was run some form of Yankee concept. So they made it look like it was run. So Luther's you can play it. I'll explain it to you.
Now this is hey, before we go, let me say this. They set this up earlier with another play where they threw it to the back. You remember when I said earlier it was an earlier play where they had Komet and I said they was in 13 personnel, then they had Komet come in, and I thought that was going to be the flea flicker, but this actually is the flea flicker. So you can see they're in 13 personnel because Luth right here at the top down you have Komet, Loveland, and then the other tight end is hold on, you got three. Yeah, you got three tight ends in here. So Komet motions back, right? And then he goes in the fullback position. But they had just showed them the same look in an earlier play. Go ahead, Christian.
No, I was gonna just say, but that is a good point. So you see Luther as he didn't speed out like he made it look like he was going to go block the safety. If you go back to it, about right there, I'll tell you on the stop.
It, right
So
there.
right as you see his angle, it looks like run, and then you have to make it look like run. He didn't just like beeline to running his route. He was slow to fast, as you can see, and then watch fast right there. So he kind of waited on also because they run a Yankee concept. Basically, Yankees just you got an over route or you run like a post, like it's like. But this one was like inverted Yankee, so you had an over route, and then you had like a it'd be almost kind of like a post corner. Um,
Hmm.
and then boom, and that's exactly what he did. Like he waited until there was a threat. I don't know who the other receiver was, but once the other receiver became a threat, now that safety's in the bind because now who you take, and then he just you like I said, you gotta go. You can't go fast to slow. You gotta go slow to fast, and then he did it. He did it really well. Like both of them was good. The only thing that was messed up was the toss from Swift, but everybody else was right. The line picked it up good. Cole Komet did his job. Yeah, the receivers did their job. Like that was a good play concept.
Yeah, I did. I saw Caleb talking about they missed that play a lot in practice, and he said he told Luther, "Don't worry about it. He just need them to keep running in the game." And I stopped thinking. I thought that was interesting that he said that because there were times, matter of fact, since he's been here, that I wonder. For example, I'm just use DJ for example, where I said DJ should probably keep running because a lot of Caleb balls to uh, Jordan Addison at USC were balls, that he was running up under. And it looked like with that play, that was the right thing to tell him because if he was overthrowing Luther in practice, to tell Luther to keep running, it allowed Luther to just run under the ball. But that man, that was a heck of a throw, bro. I mean, I know you know. I mean, I know quarterbacks like you, like man. I mean, they registered at 62 yards, but he was like what? Like he was. It was a flea flicker. So what was he about 7 yards back?
You want to be about 7 or 8. You try to get about 7, and then you're gonna push back to 8 to give yourself some room. He threw a missile, you know. Oh, that was a deep pass. I don't know too many people that can make that throw.
Okay, yeah, that play he threw it from the 22-yard line, and he Luther caught it at the 18-yard line on the other side of the field. And I guess when you add the like 7 to 8 yards back, and with him being in the middle of the field, and he caught it near the sideline, I mean, and he put some juice on that ball.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. I was impressed with the play design. What I was saying was, there's an advantage that you have when you are in 13 personnel. So I don't agree, and I'm not trying to go backwards. I don't agree with the draft of draft and leveling because we have so much other glaring needs. However, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that that is not an advantage that you get when you're in 13 personnel, you're in 12, because now you have to keep um, your wheel linebacker in. You're not going to go nickel. You're not going to go to a 4-2-5 look. You're going to be in your traditional base defense, which is primarily like a 3-4. But if you're playing a 3-4 team, which teams really don't really play, they'll say they're a 3-4, but they don't really play a 3-4 because teams are a nickel half the time, unless you're a Bears team where we're 12 personnel. So when you are in 12 personnel, you get guys like Cole Komet and Loveland who are, and depending on what type of offense, they're not really wide. They're more like U's. Even Cole Komet, they're not like a traditional tight end. Like I would say, traditional tight end is what's the guy name from the 49ers? Um, long hair. What's his name?
Yeah, man, I know who you talk. Kettle, George Kettle.
Yes. Um, he's more of a traditional tight end, where Cole Komet fits Kelsey. Like they're more of a Kelsey type. Like Kelsey is not. He does block, but George Kittle's a way better blocker than those two. So when you get 12 personnel out there, they're gonna keep their base in there, and it's advantage us. And now when you go play action, it's really advantage to us because you don't know. if it's actual run or if it's a pass. So I understand why he wanted the tight end because it's an advantage, and you
Okay.
see it looks the same. The run action looks the same. How they blocking it looks the same. Is very difficult on linebackers and safeties because safeties have a responsibility of run fitting. If they see it as a run because their keys is taught to start depending on what defense, but I know most defense they're taught to look at either the tackle or the guard before they come down.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's like you putting them really in a bind when you are in that personnel setting.
Yep. Hey, Christian. Hey, I appreciate what you said about the draft. I mean, you and I, we know both was in, an agreement. And that's not to say we didn't think Loveland would be a good tight end. We were just like, hey, man, you got one, and then you pick up Luther. That was kind of head scratching, not them the individual players, but two people who actually are pass catchers with your first two draft when you had issues on your line, and then you don't really have a defensive end, and you got a safety coming back that had multiple concussions, and you needed a running back in the Bears suffering the running game. But with all that said, what I like from game 3 that I didn't see in game 1 and 2, Christian, I thought there was a deliberate game plan to get the both tight ends involved in this game to some degree. And there was an effort to get Luther in the game other than special teams. And I also saw what I know I've been complaining about the first two games is misdirection plays, where they actually ran some misdirection plays. And also what we saw as well was, which I was complaining about, is you got to have some few design runs with a player like Caleb. And if you go to, we'll probably get to it, there was a play where Caleb had ran the ball earlier, and when he got to the goal line, he rolled out like he was going to run. And they kind of bit up, which left DJ, nobody actually stuck DJ because he had just ran a few times. So that makes a difference too. So I thought not only because this was Dallas, I know people are saying that, but he called a better game than he had been calling. Uh,
Yeah. So I agree with you. Maybe it was. I mean, because Ben Johnson is also a rookie too, and I want everybody to really understand the responsibility of being a play caller and head coach. There's a lot because you have to keep how can I say this? You have to keep pulse of the game. You have to be very meticulous with how you're gonna use your timeouts. That's one, and then two, you have to understand down the distance where can your kicker kick you from. Special teams play if there's you got onside kick. There's just so many different scenarios as a head coach that you have to be prepared for, and you're trying to call players at the same time. I just think that the first two games we didn't see Ben Johnson being Ben Johnson because he's learning how to be a head coach and be a play caller at the same time, and that's just a lot of responsibility. And in this last Dallas game, I felt like he was more locked in and he was more of in a zone. He was in a really, really good like zone, and he was able to call. He was a step ahead of Flus every time. Like he was a step ahead of Flus. Like Flus had no answers for Ben at all.
okay.
But Ryan Flores, you can see like he struggled a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I'm sure it's difficult. It's difficult calling plays and being the head coach on any level. I mean, you know it from being a coach in high school. It's hard. I mean, I just know even when I called some plays offensively for a while, and I wasn't even the head coach, and it was challenging, right? Because everything is moving fast, and sometimes the game plan that you thought you was going into don't quite
Yeah,
it ain't quite going the way you wanted. Then if you have penalties and you set back on your plays, Then you got to go back. Now, what else, is we simplified a whole lot. We was using wristbands, but the Bears right now, Ben didn't want to use wristbands. So, you know, you your quarterback actually, everybody's going through the learning curve. So I would say even the offensive line, it was some improvement with there. And only time would tell if they improvement was in dollars like a pass rush. But it takes time to gel.
I think it was a little bit of both. We'll see against the Raiders because they got a guy over there who can make some things happen. So we'll see. I think it was just we just popped Dallas, um, who don't have a pass rush. They sent their pass rusher to Green Bay. So I don't know. I mean, a win is a win. I take nothing from them, but I'm not ready to say like they figured it out yet. I got to see them put up some more games. I will say um, they did get a lot of. Well, now if you go back and watch the game, you'll see Darnell Wright wasn't getting help, but help. You know who was getting some help sometimes.
Yeah.
In this game, but he also held his own too. So um, yeah, we'll hope.
Hey, we know. Hey, Christian, both of us is beating up the Moonwalk kid, right? Braxton Jones. So, hey, there's no secret there. But anyway, the thing that matter of fact, we could jump a little bit to the Raiders right now, and we could go back to game film or whatever. We still got about 20 minutes or so. The Raiders is going to be an interesting matchup. I'm not sure why I got an echo, but the Raiders is an interesting matchup because they got a hell of a pass rush in Max Crosby. But their defense is really not that good. But outside of him, they're actually susceptible to the run game. Through 3 games, they give up about 4.5 yards per carry. The weird part is we have not shown that we really could run the ball. So I don't know how we exploit that. But the way you can exploit that is to keep running, regardless if, like at one point, the Bears, even in the Dallas game, they ran the ball. And I want to make reference to the Ravens game where they were playing. Who was the game they just played the other day? The Lions. Man, that was a old school 1970s beating. The Ravens could not do nothing. And all they did was just ran straight at the middle. A lot of plays, the weird part was they ran a lot of stuff that was straight at Roquan. And he was having problems getting off the blocks and all that. But anyway, going back to this Raiders game, they're not good at against the run. So the Bears gotta find some way, even with consistency. You're gonna probably pop one. You got to keep Max Crosby off your guy though.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna do that because
Yeah.
um, so people can say, well, you can chip. Yes, you can. However, it's a matchup issue. So if you chip, that means you're losing a guy in a route. There's only 2 routes that he can run after he chip. He's either gonna run a spot route, he's gonna run some form of an out route. That really, and if they can play a coverage that can take that away. So now you're losing the guy. So now you can be caught in a situation to where you have 2 over 3. What I mean 2 over 3 is like corner, safety, backer. And if you are in like he chips to, let's say it's trips right, but he's in a sniffer position. So that's considered trips. So like we say trips right, one of our tight ends is in a sniffer position. Or trips left because Max Crosby is on the left he's a right end. So trips left, you got Cole or Loveland in a sniffer position. Now you can't really utilize them the way that you would want to because they got a chip and they probably are not going to release right away until they feel that's how it's taught till they feel Broxton can handle it at a certain time. It's different variations of how you chip. However, it slows you up getting to a landmark into your route. So now you're kind of handicapping yourself. So you'll probably have like again you'll be essentially you it's essentially it will turn into 2 over 3 like I said, and then now you gotta
figure out how you're gonna get somebody open. So schematically, it really does not help you for real when you have to chip. You really don't want to have to chip at no point. Even if your right tackle was not that good, you don't really want to have to help with your right tackle. And then people can say, well, you can use your running back. Yes, you can, but now that messes up. It makes it more difficult on Caleb in the center to call out who they're sliding to. So
Right.
when you slide, you have a full slide, you have a high slide. So typically the slide is away. It's always to the quarterback's back. You and you throw into the blitz. So if you do that, now you're going to leave a man blocked, and he's going to be responsible for the quarterback. So that means the quarterback's going to be throwing hot every time. And if you got a defense, if they're going to sit back and they play Tampa 2 or some form of a cloud coverage or whatever coverage, you're only going to be able to dump the ball off. And it irritates me so bad. People be like, why does he keep dumping the ball off of, quarterbacks in the past and whatnot? I'll be like, well, he has to because they keep throwing, they keep blitzing, and it's really kind of, unless you like a master, at scheming things up and you prepare for it, you have an answer to it. Like, um, don't want to be too long-winded here, but you think about 2 years ago when Justin Fields threw all them slants in the Minnesota game, it was by design. He wasn't doing that because he couldn't throw or he had an issue. That's what, who was our offensive coordinator that year?
That was
Um,
Getson.
Yeah, that was Luke Getsy's. That's how he's. That's how he's. That was his scheme for that week. So chipping, you really, you want to ideally be able to pass pro without chipping. You won't have be able to have six guys, including your running back. That'll be six guys pass protecting against six or five. You in good shape. But when you got to pass protect with seven, you limit yourself with concepts. There's only so many concepts you can run.
This man, that's great information, Christian. Man, you making the listener audience a lot of more football smarter. I mean, some of the concepts you said. I mean, we gonna try to get into it some other time, like when you mentioned scissor concept. Maybe 1 week you bring the board like you did, and you show people exactly what is the scissor concept. So when people see it, like if you mentioned dig route or something, you can actually show them like what is a dig route. I think that'll help our viewers out there, man. It just make us all smarter, and then we know what we're looking at. Hey, Christian, when you was talking about chipping, and we was talking about, I was talking about game plan. What's that, bro?
You a former running back, so you already know what I mean.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I just wanted stuff for the listeners out there. And one of the things, Christian, that I thought that he did a better job on too is I know I complained that one of the things with Braxton Jones is he struggles with blocking, he get pushed back a lot. Sometimes you have to be able to use that against the defense because they believe they're going to win every time with him. And I thought in this game, he did use that one time. He actually ran what I was saying, run a running back screen. He ran that running back screen to Braxton Jones' side, and that was that long run, that long game by Swift, where they kind of felt like, yeah, you know what, we always get pressure on this side. And that was a nice run. Matter of fact, let me see if I can bring it up. Let me see if I can get that on the screen. Hold on. I know it's a couple more plays we can kind of look at. Let's run it. See what we got here. Okay, this is Luther celebrating. What we got coming up here? Like I said, I hate that we wasn't able to get the video that I prepared for the show. Okay, this is like one of those bad throws where his feet don't look like they're set good. Let's go back on this one. He kind of led him a little bit. This is I wouldn't say this is necessarily a layup. Would you say it's a layup? But this is a throw he should be able to make.
That's a tight window.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest you even throw that. I'll have to go back and see what concept this is because I'm not really getting it.
Yeah.
Um, it looks like a levels concept, but I can't really see all of our guys for. Let me just go ahead and play. I might be right.
Yeah, and that's why I was Christian when I was saying he missed 9 throws. All of them were not throws that, like this is really, like I said, this is not really a layup, right? I mean, you had to count
No,
this in one of the 9 misses, but just because it touched his hand, that doesn't mean this was an easy throw.
no, he tried to fit that into a tight window. Let me see this again.
There we go, right there.
Yeah, um, that's a tight window. That's
This is it right here. That ball, even if it's here, that's that corner. That linebacker would pick this if it's thrown right here,
Mhm.
right? So he has to give him another step before he throw it, right? That's the window, right?
Yeah, that's just still. I mean that is an NFL throw, but I mean I'm not gonna give him slack for missing it. I mean that's just one of those ones that just completely hard. I mean I'm gonna have to go back and study this play either because I'm not really understanding the concept
Okay.
of how to, get it. Because yeah, I'm not understanding this one. It looked like just two vertical routes. Honestly, that's what it looks like. And he tried to turn it into a pop, but the that linebacker was playing hook curl, the middle
Mhm.
linebacker. So he flew over the top, which made it extremely difficult. So yeah, it's one of those situations where I mean he just missed it,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, again, just go ahead and play it again. I'm gonna tell you when to pause it.
Oh, okay. The play I just played, or this play here? You said a previous play?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I think this is it.
Now right there, the middle linebacker, you can see him playing straight. He's playing hook to curl on that. So when you play it, I'll show you. So the middle linebacker, look, he drops a hook and straight to the curl. So whoever that guy was, I can't tell who that was. That was dead. So he only had like really one option because the other corner, the other safety was, you know, too high. So it looked like they were playing some form of zone. I just can't
Okay.
tell. I don't know. It could be 2 man, but yeah, that's just a hard throw, or it can be
Hmm.
quarters, or it can be quarters, and or it can be 2 man. Um, with 2 man, it looks like it is 2 man because of how they lock on to two, and yeah, it looks like 2 man a little bit. Where the corner, yeah, lock on number two, yeah, it's definitely 2 man. That was just a difficult throw to make.
Yeah.
Difficult throw. It was one of the
So,
ones where
see, I'm glad you're saying this because I still like want to go back that he missed 9 passes, right? And I know he missed a couple of layups, but if you look at the other, like these, what you just said, those were difficult throws. And I think like the layup, I know you got to make the layup, but I think what happens on when he missed like 2 layups, people get stuck on those plays and they don't realize how hard this particular throw
yeah,
was to
this
make.
throw, I was so the layup that I was mainly talking about is the one that he threw in the dirt that was supposed to go to Swift. If
Right.
he hit, that's a he would have gashed him like
Oh
with
yeah.
and I mean
And I think that
yeah,
was in the
so
red zone.
that was a layup. But this one, the defense just I mean this was just a good defensive call, and he just didn't have anywhere to throw this ball. Like he had nowhere to throw it.
Hey Christian, I thought this play was set up well on this screenplay to Swift.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it right here. They okay. See, he driving Braxton Jones back, so that's normal. But the thing I like about this, right? Even though the guard in the center actually is, so it's a design screen because the guard in the center is actually going and setting up while Braxton Jones doing what Braxton Jones do. So he didn't have to do anything what he normally does, get pushed.
Yeah.
See, he's getting pushed, but these guys, see how they setting up? They're getting ready. And then Rome is just clearing out that, just clearing, getting the attentions of this corners to get them out of that area. And see, they're waiting. Boom. Nice. But why did you cut back inside the field? I have no idea. He should have kept going up top where the ref is running, and he probably would have scored. I think that dirt ball is coming up, what you're referring to, where he dirted. That's it. Yep.
If he hits that,
That was it.
man,
To Zacchaeus. He dirted it to Zacchaeus.
he hits that, man. I think we get in there, in my opinion.
Yeah. Wrong. That's a wrong drop. That should have been a catch right there. That's one of the things where Rome occasionally go through these double catches.
So, from my evaluation of Caleb, any ball that's a one ball. So I'll explain this now. So a one ball is here. It's coming at you. Two ball is there, and three is there. Three ball is the one that you always wanted, or is deep ball and it arcs. He's a good one ball thrower.
Okay.
Two ball, he threw. That's the one that he threw to Luther. That was a three ball. And the one that he threw to Rome, it was a deep ball. But that was a one ball though. To me, he's not a good three ball thrower yet. I think he can be. Now, there's a lot of guys who are like really, really good deep ball throwers. Like Josh Allen is a really, really good deep ball thrower. Back in the day, Kurt Warner, Ben Roethlisberger, Michael Vick, who else?
Aaron Rodgers is a good deep ball thrower.
Aaron Rodgers is definitely a good deep ball. One of the best, honestly. I would
Yeah,
say
he is.
Aaron Rodgers because he can throw that thing in the air and he's got just flawless accuracy. But right now, in today's game, I would say the best deep ball throwers is Josh Allen and I'm gonna say Pat Mahomes. Those
Okay.
and I will put uh, Justin Herbert in that discussion and Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Those and Caleb, I think he can get there one day. Just
Yeah.
right now he's just not the best deep ball thrower, but I believe he can get there though.
Okay. Let's run two more plays and then we'll wrap it up. I wanted to make sure we get to that layer throw to Burden up the field, Luther Burden. This may be it right here. Okay, I see Rome going in motion. Okay, now this wasn't the play I was thinking about. Nice catch and throw. Positive yards by Rome. Rome is becoming that dude, man.
Yeah.
This the throw. That's the throw right here. Man, can you explain this throw right here? I mean, Chris, you got to break this throw down for me. I mean, this throw I thought was amazing.
Go ahead and play it.
Okay, he hitching.
Yep. Yeah, that's just one ball, good feet, and just good power. Like how he's able he generates a lot of power from his throws when one balls. Like he generates a lot of power. Um, it's really like really really like good to see why somebody generate power the way he generates it.
Mm-hmm. It got through a touchdown to Cole Komet. Man, you know what? This is. I mean, Christian. I just want to say this, man. We ain't trying to be homers or being cheesy, man. I'm trying to be straight up honest. I see a lot of positive things going with the Bears. I hope we could keep this momentum. It's not easy to win in the NFL at all. And I would say one of the other positive things with the Bears is as much as the national fan, not the national fan base, but the national media was kind of ripping Caleb apart. I think a lot of it was just like more of just being biased to like really we don't like this guy or whatever it might be. But even with that saying, the interesting thing is this is the first time that I could say in a long time, regardless of what point it is in the season, the Bears actually have a offense right now that's ranked in the top 10. That's unusual for Chicago Bears. I don't care if it's one game played in the season. Chicago Bears don't normally be in no top 10 in offense. And this is without a running game. Think about it. If the Bears actually could run the ball and just take a few of those layups that they missed, Chicago Bears will probably be top 5, top 7. I mean, at this point, with not even a running game.
You're taking the words right out of what I was literally like my thoughts. Like those are words that I was really gonna say. Like, um, I don't think we're gonna see the full fruition of Ben Johnson's offense because he likes to run the ball, and he really can't because we don't really have running back that can yet. Um, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna really see full fruition, but I think that we'll see like Caleb do some good things. I think next year is when we really see how good he is. I think this year we'll just see like, okay, yeah, we got us a guy, but then next year you'll be like, okay, do we got us a future MVP or do we got us just like one of the top 10, top 5 QBs? So that will come next year. I think this year we'll just be like, okay, I think we got the quarterback right because you gotta have a run game, and you look at his numbers, Ben Johnson's numbers from being like coordinator, um, his time in Detroit, you'll see he runs the ball a lot. And you look at the first 3 games we played, mm-mm, hasn't been the same. Hasn't been the same. So
Yeah,
it's gonna
yeah.
because it's gonna get cold outside, and I don't know what we gonna do. But I'm gonna remain positive.
Yeah, you know, bro, it's tough running. It's tough running the ball. I mean, with the Bears right now, I'm gonna say this, and I said it coming out of preseason. I have no idea why Roshan Johnson is on this team right now. He's only playing special teams. He's not even coming in for short yardage. It's not like he's a dynamic special teams player, so I don't know what they're gonna do about that particular. But you're really not getting a whole lot. So even the third guy is not anything. So I don't know. Maybe Maganga, maybe I will start seeing something. But he definitely is a liability into pass pro Maganga, which is why you got Swift a lot of times playing all 3 downs. He's not an all 3 downs back, so you actually stressing him to his max on that. But with that said, man, going into this Dallas game, I'm not gonna try to get my predictions because we got that show tomorrow on Bass Banner Talk Show. But I do want to say what I want to see is the continued growth of Rome, more use of Luther. DJ gonna do his thing, so just make sure we get the ball to Luther. But I want to see a whole lot more getting stuff to commit whatever way we can. And hey, just let the offense do what they got to do. And there's one last thing I want to point out. When we said it's going to take time to gel, I can't recall a team with a young quarterback and the whole inside, the middle of the line is all brand new, and it's a new offense. Your center is new to this team. Both of your guards are new to this team. The only vets on this team is the 2 guys on the end. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask for installation of a new offense, and those guys got to jail. It's one thing if they played together, if it's new offense, but they already played together. You're trying to create chemistry at the same time, learning a new offense. What you got, Christian?
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Um, he has a veteran coaching staff, but even as coaching staff, you have to gel too. And I don't think a lot of people don't understand like the importance with that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, Detroit, there is a reason why Detroit was not gonna allow us to interview their offensive line coach. It's a reason
Mm-hmm.
because like most offensive line coaches have a big influence in run game and passing game as far as pass protection. So Ben is literally essentially having to bring his system and he has to get his coach for Rochard on the same page as him, and that takes time.
Yeah, yeah,
Time. So, you know, just like Detroit, in a situation to where like they lost a lot of players and coaches, and they're trying to figure stuff out. We in the same position. Like it's gonna take some time.
yeah, yeah. That's a great point, and I think technically, if they didn't block the interview, if the Bears had offered him a job, they would have had to kind of change his title because I think as long as you're employed, I think the NFL doesn't allow you to make lateral moves with the same exact title. So yeah, so that's why Antoine Randall L couldn't come here as a wide receiver coach. He came here as I think assistant head coach, right? Even though he may be
I think
coaching
the
the
guy,
receivers a lot.
yeah, I think the guy in Detroit, I think he got like a promotion
He
right
got a
before.
promotion. Okay.
And then I know Ben Johnson said he didn't want to take too many people from the Lions because he didn't want to do Coach Quinn like that. But
Okay.
even I feel like he probably would have got an interview, but I have to look it up because I don't want to be wrong. But I feel like the offensive line coach got like a promotion or something like that.
Okay. Man, hey, I'm not sure if you're gonna be on tomorrow or not with us. I know you got your football games on Friday, high school game.
Like Maine South,
Okay.
come out with a victory. But yeah, they're a juggernaut. They got their quarterback, Jameson Purcell. That dude got offers in freaking like Power Five schools. That dude cold.
Mm,
Bears
okay.
gonna win
Hey, so
tomorrow.
hey, in case you can't make it, I mean, you could go and share your prediction for Sunday, Bears versus Raiders. I'm gonna hold mine as tomorrow. I mean, what's your prediction going into the game?
I think we're gonna win. I think so. I feel like it might be a little. I feel like it might be like last week's game. I don't feel like Geno Smith is better than Dak. I we'll feel like we'll be a bend don't break defense. I don't have a score, but I feel like the Bears gonna win. I feel like our record gonna be 2-2 after this week.
Okay. Hey, man, thanks for the prediction. Hey, look, man, we trying to stack some W's, brother. I mean, we like be like the West Side Connection with some dubs, man. We want that. We want Club Dub to stay open. That felt good.
I don't have no prediction, but I definitely feel like we're gonna win.
Okay. We got you. Hey, say thanks everybody. Thank you everybody who tuned in tonight. This is one of our segments called the 2 minute drill, where Christian comes on and talk about quarterback performance. And this is the first one of the season, and this is actually season 3 of the 2 minute drill, man. Hey, let's keep it popping. And man, Christian will educate us as a quarterback. What you got, bro? What you saying?
I was thinking about that day, like, dang, I've been doing this for a minute with y'all.
Yeah, yeah. I think we did like the first 2 minute drill. We did about 3 shows, uh, two uh 2 years ago, right? Then we did the show last year. We did it all season. So this is our 3rd season, man. Time fly.
You do.
Yep. Hey, until next time, everybody, make sure you tune in to Bass Banner on Fridays about approximately 7:30, and then 30 on Sundays, or if it's on Monday, 30 minutes after the game. Until that time, peace.